Another level as we jump right on into the game. The pistol round live in front of your eyes. Nemiga on the T side, so at least somewhat of an advantage for Moscow 5 if they can get off to a good start on their defense. They've stacked up very much towards the A site, leaving all control on ramp. Nemiga go out, they make a lot of noise, they let Moscow 5 know we have got ramp control, and then they move back. The idea here is that they'll force rotates towards B. Box is even selling it further by dying outside, I guess. And as Nemiga come out onto the A site, they want to weaken defense, but there's still players here. There were still players here. No longer.
Well, Nemiga, clean them up. 1-0, Nemiga find the pistol round win. And Moscow 5 Academy, when we take a look at what they've been able to bring to this next round, it's not going to be a whole lot whatsoever. So, Nemiga, with a clean pistol win, they're going to have to go up against the Deagle 4 spot. 3 AKs pulled out immediately. Now, there is over 4 AKs pulled out immediately. Now, there is a risk behind this. Yeah, you pretty much should be winning this round. Picking up the AKs, the rifles should give you enough comfortability to win this round, but there's a world in which Moscow 5 Academy take down one of these AKs and suddenly go on a bit of a spree themselves. But Nemiga charging right through the ramp, players just charging through with the AKs down in towards the ramp room. And it's kind of a risk, because a lot of teams actually stack in towards the ramp in these kind of rounds. So Nemiga, luckily, there's only one player there, and that's actually worked out as the perfect call, as they can take that lower site easily. Moscow 5 Academy are going to rotate a few players down towards this lower bomb site, and we should be seeing lots of kills come in here from JO. Okay.
That didn't happen. JO just got shut down, the bomb planted, and Nemiga still in a rough spot with all these players lurking around, but they're not able to find a whole bunch, are they? Luke on the Deagle's the only one finding a frag, and the 3v2 emerges with Deagle's going to be the driving force of this. Dursky not able to get it done with the MP9 at the start, and Lollipop gets an easy spray down afterwards. That round is going to Nemiga, and a convincing start to their T side as they push Moscow 5 onto an eco. Deadrock tried his best to find an exit.
If you can keep them from here, that would be kind of good, but unfortunately they are to safety. The thing is here for Nemiga, yeah, they win the round, but there's a lot of risk involved in that. They've invested so much into it that if they lose a couple of players, which is very, very likely, not only do they risk giving the AKs to Moscow 5 Academy and letting them pull off a round win potentially, but on the other side of things, even if they just lose players, it's very expensive because you've fully invested in rifles. Luckily, everything kind of works out there for Nemiga. They go for the ramp rush as well, which is certainly going to be an issue. Luckily, everything just plays their way. Moscow 5 Academy cannot capitalize on their opportunities, and Nemiga charge towards outside. Speedak taking the first kill, and Nemiga just so quickly heading their way down in towards Secret.
And Nemiga have got all the control, but they still lose a lot of players considering what they're up against. This isn't a round where they should be in a 3 versus 2, never mind a 2v2. Luckily recovering it somewhat, but the damage done is already so significant. Running away with the Deagle. Deadrock is now one hit. Oh, but he comes through with another, just one headshot away from winning the round single-handedly with the 4K. This is insane. MDS trying to shut him down. Deadrock might have the timing if he goes around for the push, but he has to be so cautious of exactly where MDS is. He has no idea, and it looks like they're both going the same way. It's going to be a heads-up fight, but looks away at the wrong second. Unlucky for Deadrock, but they can still be over the moon with the damage they've done in that round.
Look at the money here on the T side, right? A couple of players, Speedak in particular, who has enough, is probably going to go for the AWP here. But for the rest of the team, they're suffering economically. They haven't got a whole lot left in the bank account. And even now that Speedak has decided to go with that AWP purchase, there's not a whole lot left over for him. So if Moscow 5 Academy win this, they're going to be looking pretty good. So brilliant damage done there. A little unfortunate they couldn't get it over the line, but still, like you said, you can be very happy with the damage they managed to output. Now Nemiga, another quick play down in towards Secret. This time it's JO charging through with the Mac-10. They need to be aware of this Moscow 5 Academy. They have rotated one player down to the Met already and one up towards control room, but JO quickly there closes down the space, and immediately we have 2 kills picked up here for Nemiga. Lavels mid-noise as well, taking in the Molotov, so ready for it is MDS, and he's going to shut down Lavel. 5 versus 2, huge advantage here for Nemiga and the round 1.
It's the start for Nemiga that we feared we'd see, right? Just the fact that they come in knowing the map, I suppose, better than Moscow 5 Academy do, really. They've got the history here, they've got the ability, and that's why they picked it. and why we were saying that Moscow 5 Academy really needed to win that previous map. You know, you can see it here. If they lose, had they have lost that first one, it really wouldn't be in a good spot to win the series, but they can hope that things will change for them on Mirage. And based on the individual performances that we've seen, even in just this, that's awkward for Luke, even just the start of this game, this map right here, you may bet that Mirage will be close for them. I'm surprised Luke ends up going down to the bomb there. Especially with his HP, I thought he'd be a little bit more passive, but oh well. Down he goes, 4-0. Nemiga rock in with a full buy, obviously having all that cash, but look at Moscow 5. They're struggling. The utility is super low. Dead Rock and Raider have to go to the FAMAS just to allow for a utility belt to be pulled out at all. That is really awkward for them. Nemiga straight down through vents as well. Box already has control of the B site.
Well, Luke is going to take down JO. Man advantage in play here from Moscow 5 Academy. But the push comes through from Nemiga. They'll be looking for the way down in towards the lower side as they topple on through. Luke looking for the shots. And now Nemiga have taken that lower bomb site by storm. They currently are still a man down in this round, but having the B bomb site control, that's certainly going to help them. Laval, though, not helping. Issues here for Nemiga. Another kill. Oh, he switches out to the AK. He's going to go back for more. MDS luckily doubles up, and suddenly it's back into a winnable position for Nemiga. But still one man to the good here. Moscow 5 Academy looking for the way back in. Starting to go through the ramp room. Smoke goes down in towards the control window, but his box a great position. Double kill collected. And a round that was looking so solid for Moscow 5 Academy suddenly crumbles from beneath them. Starts off with MDS's double and Box as well, managing to. That is just heartbreaking for Moscow 5. And they're going to have to try and get away.
Despite the opening pick, Nemiga coming out on top. And the thing is, you saw their Box get down into vents so quickly, run through the B site. The control that Nemiga are being offered up in that early round is pretty nuts. But I'm impressed at Luke's fallback. As soon as he realized that they'd lost control down towards B, he just gave up ramp, played quite passive. Yeah, he found the kill onto JO, and from that point, just let himself play behind the smokes. I think it was really all he could do in that position to still have impact in the late round. And then obviously, with all the frags going their way, wasn't a whole lot their opponents could do. Moscow 5 in a spot now with their weaker buy, with just Deagles wrapped around it. This should be 6 for Nemiga. And at that stage, it's a great T-side built up. The foundations are laid. Where do you go from here?
Ooh. Not a shot. JO's going to go down. A man advantage picked up here for Moscow 5 Academy. Have come close to winning Deagle rounds before. Have come close to winning so many rounds now as well, but it's unfortunate because MDS, the man who spoiled their party in the last round, does it again here. Pulls back to Nemiga, look to run in towards this upper bomb site. Dirty currently positioned in towards Hut. It's Lollipop with the first kill. MDS able to come in as well. Another hold is there for Dursky, but it's not good enough. Speedak with a shot in the AWP delivers a 6th round for Nemiga, and they are not stopping here on Nuke. This is exactly what we expected. This is probably what we should have been expecting on Overpass as well, to be fair, from Nemiga. They didn't really get going. A little bit quiet coming into the start of the series. And the slip-up allows Moscow 5 Academy a map. And, well, they'd be fighting for another map here. And there's going to be another buy coming through from Moscow 5 Academy. They've come close to winning these gun rounds. Just haven't been able to take it over the line just yet.
Nemiga setting up to go in towards that A site. Mollies and flashes going on through. They're going to move forward in just a second. And there's the damage already through for MDS, but he's alone. The bomb dropped in the middle of the open. What's going on here? Nemiga take far too long to come out and trade. With that bomb, the CTs are already rotated in. They're overwhelming the bomb site. And Speedak drops another smoke. With that, Box walking out the door while Speedak plays passively around, eventually gets in position to trade, but this has been disjointed for Nemiga. Speedak, though, so close to making it work. P250 out, finds the frag for Luke, and it's all down to Raider to pull this one off. Moscow 5 in the best spot they've been in, and finally they pick up a round.
It's been a long time coming. They've been in these positions where they're looking good in rounds, but haven't been able to take it over the line. And finally, they survive with one player, but they will get the round over the line. An investment coming in again, and that's a note to take. Oh, you have to take note of the fact that they did only survive with one player, so their economy is actually in a bit of a rough situation. So, Bar's not looking fantastic, but it's certainly good enough. Nemiga on their last legs, economically speaking, because like I say, these rounds have been close. It's been down to the 1 versus 1s. There's been damage done in these 4 spy rounds as well. So Nemiga have been suffering a lot of casualties, and that has resulted in their economy not being well built up. So just 1 round loss here. Nemiga are going to be in the bin, and while Box is not going to be starting things off rough at all here for Nemiga, opening kill picked up on towards Laval, a man advantage collected for Nemiga.
Bouncing right back in after losing that previous. But Box is caught under heaven. He's been a sneaky boy so far in this game, but not getting away with murder this time, at least not for free. MDS is able to find ramp control, though, shutting down the player there and leaving into a 4 versus 3 as Moscow 5 scramble for extra control. They go forward right into the AK. Deadrock's not known to be close, though, so he gets 1 for free, but as he swings on through, not ready for MDS to come from ramp room. 1v3 is possible for Luke with the AWP, but he walks right into Speed Axe. And so 7 to 1 we go. Brazil comes out, unfortunately for M5.
Yeah, unfortunate indeed. Nemiga immediately answered back, and that's exactly the kind of reply that Nemiga would have been hoping for. Like I said, their economy was on the rocks. They're coming into this next round. Moscow 5 Academy had a real opportunity there, but unfortunately Nemiga just too quick, shut them down. And M5 are going to go for the decision. They know they've got loss bonus still available with the current economy system, so they are going to go with a little bit of a half buy, get a couple of deagles in here, and save most of their cash in this next round. But I just want to point out right now, while we're in one of these rounds, that set over on that A stream is unbelievable. The analyst desk is looking so good. So if you haven't had a chance to look at the A stream, go take a look at what they've got over there. It's looking so good. And in this round, a couple of kills have come in from Luke, although that looks like it's about to be the only thing here. Raider stuck up in heaven. He will shut down Lollipop. Okay, good bit of damage being done again.
Now they've been doing fairly well with it. Problem is, like, you can get all the damage you want. You can find kills in rounds where you've just got deagles, but if you're not winning when it comes to the rifle rounds, you just don't capitalize on it. Even despite all the kills, Moscow 5 are finding Nemiga have clocked up a decent little buffer of cash. Not out of control, but their round score definitely is. Raider light coming in through heaven. He's just sat passive at the moment. He wants to go for it. Time ticks away. Looks like he's out of the game. Goes forward straight into the AKF box to confirm that. 8 to 1, and such a dominant scoreline now for Nemiga. Their T side has been beyond belief, and that was the problem that we highlighted coming into the first map. Moscow 5 just not a nuke team at the end of the day, and although they have, I don't think they've played Mirage yet. It's a position where realistically you can come in and wing Mirage. You can figure out how you want to play it on the fly. You just can't do that on nuke versus an experienced nuke team. And that's very much just proven by what's on our screens at the moment.
Well, now the push comes through. Nemiga looking to enter this A bomb side. They drop into the vent, the bomb on the backs as they run on through towards the lower side. Good bit of damage done towards Raider early on. He's not 16 HP. They're taking this lower side already. MDS is the front man. Good shot. Laval taking down Speedak. A man advantage collected here for Moscow 5 Academy. And Laval's going to continue to set down in towards the lower side. Flashbang. They're ready to go around the corner. Multiple players. Moscow 5 about to turn around. J up. It's going to be under a little bit of pressure now as they come around the corner. Going to start the lineup. Molotov burns away as J flees the scene, but Box is there with a headshot. Look, taking down MDS as well. The Horde is available, but Lollipop is getting headshots. Goes back for a second. Grid stuff just tearing through them. And Nemiga, they pulled it back again. Just these individuals, they're just so solid at getting the rounds that are looking rough for them to go back in their favor.
Yeah, it's been nuts so far. This is one of those maps. I'm actually quite upset that we were so right coming into it. Because after such a close overpass, such a competitive map, we almost hit an overtime. For Nemiga to come in and just steal the show like this is upsetting. And look, by no means is the game over. The possibility for Moscow 5 to get back into it is there. The economy is much more forgiving than it used to be, but realistically, you cannot imagine if your CT side goes this poorly, if your enemies already have 9 rounds, that you're going to muster up the power to make that comeback. The 1 in a million, really. Oh, the nade to lollipop. That doesn't do that much damage. And he knows there's a player close, just swinging out, looking for all the fights and winning them. You're talking about individuals. You talked about lollipop last map, but he's showing up now.
Yeah,
Fox also looking better.
Is clearly just one of those consistent stars of this team. I think he is probably the best player on this roster. We'll see him just kind of pop off pretty consistently. Speedak is also such an X factor for the team if he shows up. So Nemiga have the firepower and probably a lot more than Moscow 5 Academy. Just didn't show it on map 1. Like I said, Box a couple of rounds there were over an overpass, were a little bit questionable. Flank, he had a perfect opportunity coming up through the connector. They weren't ready for him. Didn't quite manage it. I do always wonder if you can spam this. I haven't really ever tried it. Be interesting. But we are looking at a 10th round being added to the tally for Nemiga. Luke is going to be saving this AWP. Needs to be careful not to scope here because they will actually be able to hear him. There's the first scope in. They don't round the corner. They're too far away to hear that now at this point, so he will be able to carry the AWP into the next. It's 10-1 here for Nemiga. Double figures reach from the T side of Nuke. 3 players showing up. It's MDS, Lollipop, and Speedak. The rest of the team kind of doing their job as well here. Moscow 5 Academy, there's a lot of close rounds. I mean, they could have had a much better half already, but just the way it's played out, it's very unfortunate. Nemiga very quick to dampen any potential momentum.
There goes Laval to start things off. Again, the tower's tumbling for Moscow 5 Academy. As Dursky and Luke pick up some frags, though, things look a whole lot better. Dursky tried to get the sneaky flank on, but it was being watched out by Jo, even so late on in the round. Having lost so many players, they were being conscious of it, but Speedak, unbeknownst to him, Raider was down below. And this leaves Jo in a 1v2 as Speedak dropped onto a bunch of M4 bullets. The molly in play. Oh, Luke's got a sneaky angle as well. That bomb's going to be picked up. Jo sneaking forward right into Raider for a second kill. And with that, a second round from Moscow 5 Academy. They've done it. They've broken the curse. And now they're probably going to lose the next one.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the issue that's been cropping up for them. Like I said, it's Nemiga being able to smother any potential momentum that Moscow 5 Academy get. They went around immediately, and Nemiga come in hard and ready to win the next round. And we'll see if Moscow 5 Academy can pick this up. They have got that up. They have all the pieces they could want. They recovered an AKA, the utilities available. It's down to actually winning these rounds. They could still recover this half. 10-5 is a possibility. Certainly a scoreline you can come back from. Although Lollipop cracking open things towards heaven, but it's going to be 2 kills replied by the Moscow 5 Academy. Dursky and Laval able to find those kills. And now 4 versus 2 with that kill from Luke. So just Jo and Box, the last 2 remaining players here for Nemiga, into round number 13. Finally, Moscow 5 Academy are going to be putting 2 together.
If they can pull this up to 5 by the end of the half, I think, I mean, the slightest of chances for them. The upsides I can see is that if they're not familiar with Nuke, the T side might be a little bit better. I've no doubt that they're going to know their smoke lineups just as individuals, even if they haven't practiced this map. The thing that is a big problem is when you're playing on the CT side, like reading how your opponents are playing is going to be difficult if you're not familiar with the map. Deciding when you're rotating, how to hold down certain parts of the map. Are you committing towards ramp? What do you do if they're blitzing down vent every round, if they're smoking on your molly? Should you be spamming through it? Should you have a player bottom vent, 2 players B then, 1 ramp, 1 down on the B site playing around vents? It's so difficult to figure out exactly what you want to do, and so you end up in these positions where you're constantly trying to innovate on your ideas of the CT side. And with innovation, it means that there's new ground. So risks being taken, strategies that are not 100%, that you haven't tried again and again in scrims and in officials. And that's when mistakes happen. That's when you lose games. And that's fine for Moscow 5 because this isn't their map. Not one they're supposed to perform on. But realistically, you do want to see something from them. If you just get absolutely smacked out of a map, it's not going to be easy to bounce back coming into the next. And it's Mirage, where they haven't played as a team yet, where we're seeing Nemiga at the moment warm up. I mean, the reason I thought Moscow 5 had a chance in the series is because we saw Lollipop being weak in the previous. We saw Box being consistent. SpeedAC wasn't really showing up in the op the way we'd expect. And all those boxes are being checked right now, so I don't think you've got an easy Mirage map coming up. This means they've got to put in the work on Nuke, and doing it with the opening duel there onto MDS, pulling Moscow 5 Academy ahead by at least a hair's length in this round, but we've seen things flip onto their heads very, very quickly. Luke able to take down J.O., but they do pull back a kill in the meantime. Lollipop going down to 10 health and picking up the AWP because of it.
Well, Lavel taking away Lollipop. Now the smoke down in front of the vent as well as Lavel sits inside of it. SpeedAC starting to come through the hut. You look up towards heaven. Just one player up there. At the moment, SpeedAC starts to wrap around and box well. Sits to the top of the vent. SpeedAC just chilling up here. This is not going to be the greatest scenario, but what? Luke dives in. He dies because Box dealt damage, and the fall damage is there, and Box will win the round. What a weird round that is, but Nemiga will take 11. Box with a double kill, and a very strange round to say the least.
Yeah, a very odd situation unfolding as Nemiga take their 11th. And just coming back to the point about Box I was making, he was inconsistent last map, now he's showing up. Thank you for just demonstrating what I was saying, Box. Appreciate it. 11-3 as Nemiga fly ahead on this map. Nuke is the advantageous ground we expected, and for Moscow 5 Academy, it has been espresso depresso. They've got Mirage to look forward to where they can show up as individuals, but they will need to do so. The pressure is on. And with this round starting out in 1-for-1 trades, Luke is doing well, but they know he's here on the AWP. The Molotov designed to push him out. He stays on the edge of it, though, and eventually starts getting ticked. Just about makes it out with 20 health. That's a worthwhile trade.
Well, Lavel over here is going to take down MDS. Bomb dropped on the floor. And the corner waiting players. Box comes around the back line. Stursky, he goes down. Nice headshot. Now a chance here for SpeedAC as he gets rid of Lavel. Now 2 versus 2. Minute on the clock. SpeedAC goes back out towards the A side. They'll quickly assume control of this. But Deadrock, this MP9, the low HP player in front of it, he can actually find this kill. But he's being peeked from 2 players from 2 different positions. And now look, having to come back through. And it's 12-3 at the half. Nemiga dominating at the moment here on Nuke. And again, it's 12 rounds on the T side, which makes it even more impressive. We take a look at what we can expect from Moscow 5 Academy over here on the T side. I'm not seeing a whole lot. If they lose this pistol, it's probably done.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you there, Dinko. The pistol round pretty much determines whether Moscow 5 have a small, very, very small chance of coming back into this map, or practically none. Either way, it should be Nemiga taking this map. I mean, when you're 12 rounds on your T side, Moscow 5 have looked lost. It's hard to favor Moscow 5 in any way. As we said, things playing out exactly as expected. But now on the T side, they've got that little bit more freedom. It's not as difficult to read into those rotates. I think probably more intuitive playing the terror side of Nuke if you're not familiar with the map. But unfortunately, the pistol round just is not working out for them. With Deadrock left to ace clutch it. Playing on the back of the bomb side. Here's the player up in heaven, but cannot hit the shots. They're all swinging on him. 13-3. I think that's probably the last nail in the Moscow 5 Academy coffin. Not even getting a bomb plan, so force buy is impossible.
Yeah, that's the scary part, right? They don't get a bomb plant. They won't be able to get a solid force buy in here. And when you say they can't get a force buy, you mean they can't get that force buy with the AK-47s and all the
Yeah.
utility around it, which is what we've come to get used to on this T side. But they can get a force buy in with the Deagles. I was talking to Blen, you know, back in the olden times, because Blen's an old man, he used to call this the Russian eco, and it used to be the Deagle round, the deco. So we'll see if Moscow can pull it off. They have to. There's really no other option right now. This is do or die time for Moscow Academy. And it's not really good when your chances lie on this kind of round. This is one of those ones that you pull off every now and then, but is never really going to be consistent.
Oh, I mean, you talk about consistency, Deagle buys in CIS, something that, not in this matchup, but quite often. I mean, we had a game, it was a Pro-Sto game a while back, and for the first, it was on Vertigo, first like 9 or 10 rounds, no, I think it was 9 rounds, every team, whenever they lost a round, they Deagle bought and they won the next. I was just back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, they've got Deagles, they've won the round, no problem. Why would you buy an AK?
There's a small chance here, Mitch. Oh, unfortunately, Level can't do much, but yeah, we do see a lot of these force buy rounds coming through from the Russian teams and the CIS teams in total, and I think it's definitely exciting. But then again, you do want some normal Counter-Strike coming through, and at the moment, Nemiga are playing good Counter-Strike. So we 14 rounds picked up here, 14-3. They are 2 rounds away from victory on Nuke. And while Moscow 5 Academy, when you take a look at what they've got available to them, it's just not good. I would play for overtime here, but then again, you've still got 12 rounds to find in a row. It's all about making this scoreline look as respectable as possible. So they go for the force, do or die time. They lose this, they're out of it. We'll be going on to that third map, no problem.
This is another reason that we favor Nemiga coming into it, not just individually speaking, although we saw Moscow 5 show up as players. The thing is, they're experienced, and with that comes a more expansive map pool. And you can play a lot more than your opponents. Moscow 5 clearly don't play new. Clearly haven't got the practice on it, and that's the problem for them.
So there's a polar contrast between these two teams, right? So Nemiga coming into this tournament with the main goal of actually qualifying for the RMR event, okay? It'd be kind of a disappointment if they don't make it there.
Yeah.
Moscow 5 Academy's main goal is coming into this tournament looking to do some damage, looking to make a statement, get some experience, and make a name for themselves. Obviously, qualifying for the main event would be fantastic, but it's just completely unrealistic at the moment to expect that. So already taking a map off Nemiga, that's pretty solid. And
yeah,
coming into the second map, it's always going to be an uphill battle. And at the moment, Nemiga looking like they're going to be taking this round. If Box can do any damage on this ramp pit, 2 players coming through. Moscow 5 Academy do have 2 recovered M4s, so this is certainly a winnable round for them. But Box's position is so strong, but he's going to be checked. Look with a headshot, and now suddenly there is a chance here for Moscow 5 Academy to win this round.
And the opportunity is certainly there. Nemiga looking to get back in with an SMG and an M4. Player spotted above. Big mistake. Luke goes down, but Deadrock able to find another. They know exactly where he is, but a headshot connected to JO wins the round for Moscow 5 Academy. I agree with what you're saying, Dinko. You know, Moscow 5, I don't think they're coming in without the goal of qualifying. I think every team has to come into a tournament believing that they can do it, but they'll certainly understand that there's a very low chance of that happening, and they'll have things that they're looking for. I think amongst those, for teams like this, is essentially seeing if their lineup is viable. You know, these are the tournaments you can come out of and see if you need to make changes. You can have a player that's performing well in ESEA Open or Intermediate or wherever you find yourself, but when you come up against higher level teams, that the discipline that they have doesn't allow them to actually play well, that the risks they take, they don't have the aim to back it up, or they're playing when they're playing against opponents that can aim. And this is something that I think Moscow 5 Academy will look back on this tournament, and likely, if lineup changes are to happen, it'll be within the next couple of weeks. It's a really good testing grounds for them to see if what they're doing is correct. And having taken the map of Overpass, I think it's safe to say they've got some good progress, at least, to start things off. Not in this round, they don't know, because Box has found the opening duel with a 5-7. At least they managed to take him out afterwards, though.
just the pistols from Nemiga. So again, expecting too much, but they're going to be seeing how much damage they can do in these remaining 37 seconds. They push in towards the side. Lollipop getting one on the CZ. Jail going down though, and the rest of the side falling, crumbling. In fact, it's Moscow Academy who find themselves a 5th round, 14-5. By coming back in here for Nemiga. Will Nemiga be finding themselves 15 in map point here on Nuke in this round, or will Moscow Academy continue their comeback? They have got themselves the purchase again. They've kept those weapons they've actually managed to save on over in the form of the M4A1S. The 3 AKs and a Galil in play. It's not bad at all here for Moscow 5 Academy. Over from Nemiga, they've managed to get the open hands of SpeedAC, who for me is still being relatively quiet in terms of what we can actually expect from this guy. And I thought he would be having a field day against the likes of Moscow 5 Academy. And he might just be able to do it in this round. He's getting aggressive in towards ramp. Somehow, MDS wins that aim duel. It looked like Raider had that all day long, but unfortunately can't get it done. And SpeedAC's going to find Laval as well. This is the perfect start for Nemiga.
Off to a flying start. Another kill goes their way as Box takes down Luke, and Moscow 5 looking dead in the water in this round. Not a thing to say back against their opponents, even on that mixed buy. Nemiga just flying into the lead. 1 minute left on the clock. Decision time for Moscow 5, and they decide to run right into the opposite SpeedAC, which sure ain't ideal. Thursky left alone. He heard the weapon being picked up. That player's already out of here. Eventually forces the fight and does take down Lollipop. But there's another 4 opponents to go, and an ace clutch with a Galil is what he needs to find to keep his team alive. It'll be 15 rounds for Nemiga. Well, it is, as he dies. And now on to map point, but luckily not series point. As we said, Moscow 5 gave themselves a little bit of room to play with. They needed overpass. They found it. And so likely we're going to conclude this series on Mirage.
Yeah, this is definitely looking like one that is locked in at this point. There's no way of saying it other than Moscow 5 Academy just aren't very comfortable here on Nuke. And again, Nemiga coming into this map always going to be the favorites by quite a substantial margin. Mirage is one that I can definitely see Moscow 5 Academy competing on though. They have got good individuals. Mirage is one of those maps everybody should be relatively comfortable with. It's one of those individuals can shine. And SpeedAC is going to take that first kill. Laval go on a man advantage in play for the CT side. It's SpeedAC going back in. Luke going to fall. And now it's a 2-man advantage in play here for Nemiga. Looks like it might be done here, Mitch. Oh, the spray. Box gets one. Dursky is going to take down Box as well in reply, but it's a 4 versus 2. Not too much space to work with. The bomb not in their control either. It looks like it's just a matter of time before we're going to be seeing Nemiga take this win.
A foregone conclusion in this one, pretty much with 22 health left. Dursky again needs an ace clutch. That's 2 rounds in a row that weight is being pushed upon him. This time, though, the stakes are that little bit higher. And SpeedAC's just not falling for it. He knows the accuracy isn't there on the ladder. He doesn't need to take the shot until that player's right up the top. Fires away, misses the shot, but the trade is there. And that's going to conclude things as we rock on through to map number 3. Guaranteed